So tomorrow your new album Incoming Death it will be released. What can you tell us about it?
Well, what can I tell about it? Well, yeah, I mean, as any band would probably say, if they do a new album, it's the best we ever did, you know. But yeah, like I said, anyone will say they're always in band that just releases an album. But no, I mean, for us, it was really hard work, and in a way of trying to, yeah, improve. You know, it's the previous album, Death Hammer, but I think we succeeded with this one, and I think it's got more variety than that one, and in a way of songs that have like a kind of a slower pace than most of them on death metal have, and yeah, it's I think the production is better overall, the mixing, and but still very Asphyx like. So you know, we keep on maintaining our own style, and yeah, I think even with this one, it's heavier than Death of Brute Away and Death Hammer. So after kind of, well, let's say like Resurrection in 2007, this is definitely the best album, if not the best ever from Asphyx. So I'm really happy. In fact,
So,
we all are.
so did you approach the songwriting differently?
Well, we were a bit forced to do that, yeah, because now with Stefan Huskens, we call him Husky by the way,
Hmm.
on drums, he lives quite far away from us in Germany, so we're not able to go yeah, quickly like in the practice room and start jamming, you know, and writing songs. So this time we had to use a bit more, yeah, like internet, you know, like Paul sending his riffs to everyone, like, okay, guys, is this something? And so then we had to check it out. But you know, of course, it's completely different from a rehearsal room. That's where you have, you know, the real power and the real force behind the guitar. But yeah, I mean, if a riff stays a riff, so you know, if we all liked it and then later on try it out, yeah, you know, it's good. But yeah, it was a kind of a different approach. So later on, we had to scrap everything together and start building the tracks in the rehearsal room. You know.
Did you have a particular inspiration for the lyrics?
I always have, in fact. Um, yeah, I mean, with Asphyx, it's a thing that I always try to. Yeah, you know, try all kinds of different things and be original with the lyrics and also with song titles anyway. But yeah, you know, my inspiration usually goes out on things like science fiction and the usual, you know, death metal, core horror lyrics, but also war and yeah, sometimes like reality stuff. And it depends on the kind of music that or the kind of riffs that Paul delivers, and from that atmosphere in a song, yeah, I try to translate that to a lyric. And yeah, I think with this one, what yeah, there's one track that stands out for me a little bit is when it comes to lyrics is Grand Denial, which is it is a war themed thing, but it's about yeah all the Asian women that were you know forced to become sex slaves for the Japanese army, and it's a kind of yeah, it's like still a kind of a taboo to talk about this in Japan because they you know they still yeah refuse to acknowledge that it happened, you
Hmm.
know. So yeah, but for me it was. I mean, it was just Paul. It was a really an old idea that I had, and Paul and me really wanted to use that for you know a time, and then finally with the music that he delivered now, I was able to interpret it in that, and yeah, I think he did a fantastic job with all the leads that he does in there and the melodies, and together with the lyrics, yeah, it suits really marvelously. Uh,
You also have a video for the song Forerunners of the Apocalypse. What made you choose that song?
well, the thing is with the video clip, we can of course like choose the Doom songs, but then you have tracks like for 6 or 7 minutes, you know, and sometimes I don't think people, well, personally I don't, you know, I'm not going to watch like 8 or 10 minute videos if I want to watch quickly some, and you want to have a song that's accessible also to people, and I thought from this one, well, we all thought that it's a really like it is a death metal stomper, but it also has you know a bit of musically, you know, lots of you know just regular heavy metal roots, but just played very heavy. So we thought, well, it may be accessible for even more people than just death metal heads or just Asphyx fans, and that's why we thought, like, okay, maybe we should choose this one. Next to the fact that on the previous albums we choose like the title tracks, and this one was a kind of, the title track was a kind of a teaser, you know, like with as a video. But for a real official one, we thought, okay, let's do something different and do this one. And that's nice because it's, you know, it's about Genghis Khan, you know, like I'm also like freaking out on history. And yeah, you know, like his Mongol horse like decapitating 1.7 million people in about like 2 weeks, I think. So kind of a crazy story.
Yeah. And do you have any particular favorite song from this album that you would like to perform live?
Yeah, all of them, of course.
All of
But that's
them.
it. But it's impossible, you know, really. Well, we're going to do that anyway with
The
with this
release
tour.
release
Yeah,
show, right?
yeah. The release shows we're going to do very special. You know, like, yeah, because we, of course, we're really enthusiastic about the album, and especially because we are a live band. We really want to play as much of the songs live as possible. But the problem a little bit with Asphyx is that we have so much material also from the past that the fans still want to hear. So suppose like next year we will, let's just say, you do a festival and you got 50 minutes of playing time. It's impossible to play. You know, you have to make a good mix from, you know, all the work that you put out. So with these release shows, yeah, we're really yeah, like stoked, you know, to play all of this new album if possible. You know, maybe one song not, but we'll see. You know, if we can play all, that's just fantastic. That's why it's a release show, and that's why it's a special one. But yeah, I mean, I would love to play them all live. Really, I mean, yeah, yeah. There's nothing to say. I love them all. Every track, doesn't matter if it's slow or fast.
Do you have any other touring plans?
Well, we're not really a touring band because that's also due to the fact that the boys have, you know, all their jobs, and it's really hard to plan that, you know,
Yeah.
like get holidays from your work. But we do a short one in on the US West Coast next year, about 6 or 7 days, all the way from I think from San Diego up to Vancouver. So the last show will be Canada then, and I think that's for about a week, you know, because yeah, all the stuff we have to arrive, we have to fly back. So I guess like overall the guys need like 10 days off or something from work. So yeah, it's not really a tour, but we call it like a small stint, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's a few days in a row, yeah. And for the rest, yeah, we already have a lot of shows confirmed for next year. Yeah, like all over Europe already. So I mean, like I said, it's not a tour, but yeah, we play every weekend like 2 shows or something, and so basically you cover the same amount of shows that way as you cover when you do a whole tour. Just a different way of approaching it.
And now talking about the reunion back in 2007, what made you decide to reunite the band?
It was basically, well, not pressure. That's a wrong word, but it was just the Partisan Festival in Germany. It's quite a big extreme metal festival, and they had this kind of poll for their, you know, for the visitors there, like which band they wanted to see, and every year it was, you know, it was Asphyx. We were number one on all the people, so they kept on asking us all the time, and then yeah, finally in the end we were able to do that, and yeah, it was really worth it. It was a really amazing show.
Yeah.
So that was the Partisan was actually the yeah, that set it all going.
And Asphyx is often considered as death doom metal pioneers. Do you agree with this?
Well, it's nice to be called pioneers, but I think, you know, when death metal started and was rising up, I think a lot of these bands had doom influences. I mean, the Autopsy albums have a lot of slow parts as well, and you know, like the first Death album or the demos from Death, you know, like songs with like Sacrificial or something. I mean, they had a lot of slow parts. So for me, yeah, death metal was, you know, supposed to have slow parts in it as well. So all of a sudden, like, people were calling us Death Doom, and well, okay, you know, if they want to, you know, if they want to give us that kind of name, then yeah, it's all right with me. But I'm not saying we're the inventors of it. No, it has been done before, I think.
And what do you think of the current metal scene?
Well, death metal, like, it's going very nicely. I think there's a lot of promising talent in new, you know, old school playing like younger death metal bands, and well, from all over the world really, and with a nice attitude too. I mean, it's not just the music that they play and they play it well, but they also got a really nice attitude, like the same that we had when we started. You know, they're really enthusiastic. They want to play live, and they're really happy to meet old dogs like us, and talk a little bit or party or whatever. So that's really a nice thing, and yeah, as I said, it's happening all over the world. Like the United States, like Skeletal Remains, or there was another younger band that I saw called Morphin. Like the vocalist Jesus, he had a really really good voice, like almost like Chuck Sheldon. It was astonishing. And here from the Netherlands, we have bands like Entrapment or Body Farm or Funeral Whore, and then there's still like a lot from Sweden and Germany. Like it's all over. So I think it's for me personally, because I like that kind of style, it's a very positive development. Yeah. But I mean, that's just, I'm not talking basically on only like old school death metal really. I mean, there's of course a lot of other genres that are not really my cup of tea, but.
Yeah, what kind of music do you listen to?
Everything. Yeah. I mean, of course, I've been a metalhead since I was a kid. Since I was 8 years old, and I still keep on playing those albums where I started with. I mean, when I was 8 years old, I think the first album I bought was Kiss, and I will always be a Kiss fan with Ace Frehley for the rest of my life. That's a certainty, and the same goes with all the AC/DC albums, but. Later on, when I discovered bands like Motorhead or Venom and the style of Metallica and Slayer and all that, I still play that stuff. Or all the Priest and Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, and you just name it. It's just, it goes from the beginning of hard rock till the bands that I listen now. And sometimes I do have side steps out because I can't be listening metal all the time, especially not now when I have to learn all the lyrics of the album. So you be playing all day these songs like in a kind of loop, so there's a moment that you go like nuts, like, oh god, now I've had it. And that's why I can listen to stuff like blues or even some more easy kind of jazzy stuff, whatever, but I'm really I'm quite wide in things that I like. I also like a shitload of old punk, and and then there's a few psychobilly bands that I like as well, like Reverend Horton Heat or the Brains from Canada, But I'm a musician in the first place, and I do that with passion. And even when I like things, I just like it. It's just the way it is, and I don't care, if people say, oh, you're not a true metalhead. Well, fuck, I've been that life for 42 years, so
Yeah. Is there anything you miss of that old school metal scene?
Well, to be honest, no, not really. I mean, what I just said with the younger bands that come up, they have the same kind of vibe that we used to have back in the days. The only thing that's really changed is the way that we contacted each other back in the days. I mean, that nostalgia of you had to send letters by mail, and handwritten letters, and you had to exchange your tapes, by mail. So you were, every day it was like another surprise, like what the hell will be landing in my mailbox now. It was really cool. But yeah, nowadays you've got internet and email and God knows what else. I mean, personally I don't have a Facebook because that would be too much, I guess. But I mean that's actually for me the only difference really. I mean, as long as the attitude and the vibe and the feeling and the passion of the people is still the same, then it's fine, and it's perfect. And also a really big difference is back in the days we were like pioneers in a way of no one was playing that kind of music. So and now all of a sudden you've got, I have no idea how much festivals worldwide you can perform, and back then there was just nothing. We had to play for crap, for nothing, for a crate of beer and a few pizzas, and hardly people were showing up. So in that way it's a lot better nowadays, because we even get paid for what we do.
Yeah, right. But since you have a wide musical taste, if you could cover a non-metal song, what would you choose?
I probably would choose Reverend Horton Heat. It's like a psychobilly. They made a song called Death Metal Guys.
Oh, okay.
And it's, what I like about this band also, besides the fact that they're really nice musicians, but he's got really funny lyrics. It's just, yeah, just the lyrics are just really a pleasure to listen to. It's just a lot of humor, and it's the same with this death metal guy lyrics. I remember when I saw them in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam, and someone introduced me to Jim Heat, and then I said to him, like, oh, by the way, I'm a death metal guy.
Yeah.
So that was quite funny, and yeah, I bought a shirt of them. So yeah, I think just for the fun of it, I would do that.
But you would do it death metal version, right?
Yeah, in a death metal version, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or what I could do also is something else. That, yes, you know, there's a very old blues singer. They call her like the Empress of the Blues, called Bessie Smith, and I was listening to the lyrics of this woman, and you have to imagine like it's in the 1920s, and she had a song like which was called like "Send Me to the Electric Chair."
Nice.
And I go, my God, you know, I mean, that's for that time, it was of course incredibly brutal. And, you know, like that was like completely Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, you had to be like a devil worshipper or something, you know, to do that. So that could be something funny too, to do. Or nice, you know. Funny is not a good word, but something special, yeah.
And what are your expectations for the future of the band?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, we have to do a lot of shows, and as tomorrow the album comes out, you know, I'm really curious on, and especially what the fans will say now from it, you know, because until now we only had like the reactions from the press, which were, by the way, overwhelming, really. So we're really pleased with that. But of course, they're not the ones that, you know, who have the last words in the end. You know, it's our fans. So I'm really excited to hear what they like of it, and then from that point on, you know, we can work further on. You know, first do the shows, and then slowly, maybe work already on a few new tunes, and I've got already a few ideas again for another lyrics, and keep it continuing, and well, who knows? Maybe like in 2 more years, then finally we'll make like a kind of a best-selling album after all these years, and you know, I can go and retire, or even or slow it down a little bit.
Okay.
But that's not on the agenda, really.
Yeah, let's hope you guys don't retire too soon.
Oh no, of course not. No. As long as I can still stand and scream, no. I mean, the stage is my I say that the stage is my drug. You know, it's sometimes it's even better than having sex, really. So no. If I can't go on stage anymore, then I'll perform live. Then then I'll quit, really.
Or you could become just a studio band.
Oh, no way, I hate that.
Okay.
No. I mean, metal was always supposed to be like a live performing music, you know. It was never meant to be like going in a studio and freak out, on things that you cannot play, you know, on a stage. No. I mean, nowadays I do enjoy my studio work, you know, because I just, like when you're a kid, it's all still new, and you get a little bit tensed and nervous, you know, to enter a studio. Nowadays, you just go, okay, you know, let's have some fun. So it's not that I go into a studio and go like, whoa, you know, I just don't like it. But thing is, without a record, you cannot perform live, you know. Yeah. So that's why everybody has to record, you know, albums, so that people know your songs and you can actually go on stage and people can have fun and singing along if they like the kind of stuff, you know. That's why you have to make records, really. Well, you know, that's my kind of philosophy. Others say like we make records because we want to sell a lot. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't complain if we do that, but in the end, it's all about playing it live.
That's very true.
That's always has been the case for me. You know, I'm just a slave for the stage, really.
Okay, then good luck with everything, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you very much too.